Picture a phone in your hand during a spare 5 minutes. That moment already had a habit. Open a feed, watch something short, send it to someone, move on. Quibi looked at that same moment and saw a tiny theater. It would have premium shows, famous producers, short episodes, a phone format that worked whether you held the screen vertical or horizontal, and it would ask people to pay for it. That is the strange part of Quibi. The behavior was real. The container was the problem. Quibi was a mobile-first streaming service built around quick bites of video. The name came from that idea. Episodes were short. The app was designed for phones. The pitch was simple. You could get polished entertainment in the small gaps of a day. It launched on April 6, 2020, with a long free trial and a paid subscription waiting behind it. It had money, executives, advertisers, and attention. It also had a clear product feature called Turnstyle. Turnstyle answered a real phone question. If a viewer rotated the device, the video could keep working in a different frame. A scene could be built for vertical viewing and horizontal viewing at the same time. That was clever. It also solved the smaller problem. The bigger problem was not how to rotate the screen. It was why this needed to become a new paid habit. Quibi was designed like premium media. It had Hollywood names, launch advertisers, and reported backing of about $1.75 billion. This was not a loose creator platform testing clips in public. It was a planned subscription product with a brand-safe advertising story. That gave Quibi polish. It also gave Quibi pressure. A premium system needs several parts to work at once. Viewers have to open the app. Enough of them have to convert after the trial. Advertisers have to believe the audience is worth paying for. New shows have to keep making the app feel necessary. For long-form streaming, that model already made sense to people. You pay for a library, you search for a show, you sit down for an episode or a movie. Short mobile video works differently. The value often comes from the feed, the creator, the social loop, and the ease of sharing. The viewer does not always start with a plan. The next clip finds them. Quibi asked short video to behave more like a premium destination. That is why the pandemic explanation is incomplete. The timing was rough. Quibi imagined people watching in daily gaps, and lockdowns removed many of those gaps. The commute disappeared, coffee lines disappeared, the casual in-between moments got smaller, but people did not stop watching video on phones. They watched more of it. They just already had places where short video felt native. If someone wanted a fast clip, YouTube and TikTok were already open doors. If someone wanted premium streaming, Netflix, Disney+, Hulu, and others already trained the paid subscription behavior. Quibi sat between those habits. It was more expensive and closed than a feed. It was smaller and more phone-specific than a living room streamer. That middle position made every product limitation feel heavier. Early Quibi was not the easiest place to share a clip. It was not built around the same social discovery that made free short video spread. It also had to adjust toward television viewing after launching as a phone-first product. Each limitation could sound small on its own. Together, they pointed to the same issue. Quibi was asking viewers to change the path of a behavior that was already easy. The company had solved for format. It had not solved for distribution. That distinction matters because the easy version of the story makes Quibi sound obvious in hindsight. A mobile video app launched during lockdown and failed. The more useful version is sharper. Quibi built a paid product around a free habit. It built a premium container around clips that needed to move. It built a controlled app around a viewing style that was already being shaped by open feeds, creators, and social discovery. By October 2020, Quibi announced it would wind down. Katzenberg and Whitman's public letter framed the failure as possibly coming from the idea itself not being strong enough as a standalone service, or from the timing. Both explanations point back to the same system. If the standalone service was not strong enough, then the container failed. If the timing was wrong, then the imagined viewing context failed. Either way, Quibi needed a new habit to form quickly around a paid app. It did not. The aftermath makes the lesson clearer. Roku later acquired rights to Quibi's content library for the Roku channel. The deal did not turn Quibi back into Quibi. It moved the shows into a different system, a free ad-supported channel where the viewer did not need to buy into the original app. That does not prove every show was valuable. It does show that the content and the container were separate questions. Quibi's mistake was not believing people liked short video. People clearly did. The mistake was believing a premium, closed, paid version of that habit could become necessary fast enough to support the cost behind it. Breakpoint stories usually start with a promise that made sense. Quibi's promise made sense at the surface level. Phones were everywhere. Attention came in fragments. Hollywood wanted new distribution. Advertisers wanted controlled environments. The weak assumption was that those facts added up to a subscription. They did not. Quibi solved the phone in your hand. It never solved the reason to open one more app.